Hey guys, welcome back to the course. So we're going to talk about managing a virtual team of remote workers. And these remote employees could be located anywhere, right? I think a lot of people have come to realize that it doesn't really matter if talented people are located one street over or on the moon. As long as they're getting the work done, you should be happy. As an employer or manager, you value certain things from any employee you hire. You're looking for talented people who can complete tasks quickly and effectively. People who communicate well, can manage time, work well with others, treat others with respect. Where these people are located, however, really has become irrelevant in a lot of industries, which is why virtual teams have become much more popular. But at the same time, while you're looking for certain values from employees, remote workers have things that they're looking for as well. People who seek out virtual jobs and decide to work from home or somewhere else have many of the same needs as people working in offices. They want to be part of a successful company and they want a stable and well-paying job. They want to do something that's interesting, rewarding, and allows them to use their talents. But people considering a remote job value some other important things as well. And if you can provide these, well, your virtual team should be successful. Now, first off, they're generally going to be looking for flexibility. And to some people, this sounds a little obvious, like, well, if you work at home, obviously that's flexibility. No, working from home simply means you're a remote worker. A job that offers flexibility is one that allows workers to adjust how they work to fit their needs, but still allows them to satisfy all their job responsibilities. It's a little bit different. For example, some remote jobs allow workers to shift hours. Instead of being online, the usual 9 to 5, they might work earlier or at night or on weekends. They might shift their entire day an hour or two backwards or forward, especially if they're in other time zones or countries. Flexibility could also mean that employees feel secure about running out for doctor's appointments or picking up their kids at school as long as they're available on a chat app like Skype or Slack or email. When you offer flexibility like that, well, it increases the number of candidates you'll be able to find for your position. People looking for remote work also value clear communication. And this is something all workers value, but it's especially important in a virtual work environment. Think about how different each experience is. In an office, you can pop by someone's desk, you can run into them in the halls, you can pull them in for a quick meeting. Physically being in the same space means there are many more natural ways of interacting and communicating. But with a virtual experience, well, you're physically by yourself, sometimes all day long. Communication doesn't just naturally happen for remote workers, but it is something they absolutely need. So they want chat boards and messaging and video and whatever it takes to interact with colleagues and to get the work done. Communicating just over email isn't always the clearest medium, right? It's too easy to misunderstand language or attitudes. They seriously need a sarcastic font. A virtual team needs tools to help them communicate and a series of regular interactions so they can stay connected, up to date, and to begin to develop relationships and a culture with each other. And it's not just communication tools that remote workers want either. Virtual teams also want powerful, effective platforms that allow them to do great work from anywhere and maybe from any device. These platforms might be for project management, for web or app development, for creating training and educational programs, for designers, customer service, salespeople. So many industries can now find the best options to get work done online, and remote workers just want to use those great accessible tools as well. But if there's one thing remote workers are probably most hopeful for from a job, it's trust and respect. We still live in a world where a lot of companies, and especially the decision makers in charge, believe in a more traditional office environment. They literally want everyone under the same roof. Lots of people think remote work is some kind of a scam, as if the phrase working from home means sitting on your couch playing Xbox. And unfortunately, some of those people are fellow team members or the managers responsible for monitoring and evaluating remote work. A virtual employee, no, check that. Every employee works best when their team and leaders trust and respect them. If you can't trust someone to get their work done, well, you shouldn't have hired them in the first place. Or maybe you shouldn't be managing virtual employees. People need to let go of the paranoia and fear that remote workers don't do work. Plenty of newer companies have embraced the remote way of thinking and thrive, including teams like Buffer, Help Scout, and Automattic, which is the team that created WordPress. But it's not just a trendy startup thing either. Education company Kaplan has something like 85% remote employees. So virtual teams work, and they work for many different industries, not just tech. So these values we mentioned, flexibility, communication, access to great tools, and trust and respect, these are the things that make remote workers and the teams they work for successful. If you believe in these values and can provide them for your virtual team, you will be successful. And so the question then becomes, how do you provide all of that effectively? Well, in the lectures to come, we'll talk about how to find and hire the right virtual team, how to communicate and work with them, the types of tools to use, and how to manage and reach your goals. If you're ready to dive in, see you in the next lecture.